Hey guys, welcome to Game 2 of this BO3. TLO did win the last one. That means if Nony loses this game, then he gets eliminated from MLG. If he wins this one, then we get to go into an ace match between these two players. It is on Metalopolis, and Nony, last game on Antigua Shipyard, chose to go for a 2-gate expand. And on Metalopolis, it is much harder to take a Forge Fast Expand, so I assume Nony's not going to be doing that, even though the motto for most Protoss is Forge Fast Expand or Die Trying. Nony trying to make it work without Forge Fast Expanding so he can put some pressure on. And, well, last game, the pressure just did not work out, so we'll see if it does anything this game. I don't know if this is his normal thing at this time of play. Again, these are like 2 to 3 weeks old. I don't know exactly how old the game is. We can check once we get into the analysis portion of SC2 Gears. And we'll see exactly what ends up happening. We do have an Overlord moving out for TLO. Is going to see that Nony isn't in the close by air positions. And he will be going for a pool right around 15, I believe, because that is when most Zerg players do enjoy taking their pool against Protoss. It's 15 pool, 15 hatch. If the probe blocks it, then they start droning up, or they go directly to this third base. But because Nony isn't going to be going for a Forge Fast Expand, the Zerg player cannot go on 3 bases at the 5-minute mark of the game like they are used to doing. We do have another pylon for Nony being built. A little bit of an odd spot for it. I don't know why it's right here, not like right here, because if you placed it right here, you'd be able to whoop in units on the low ground. I don't know. I'm sure he has some reasoning behind that. We do have the probe going to be going out to scout at the 6... He's sending out 2 workers? No, this one's going to go to the middle line. So at about 15, he does decide to go out and scout. Hasn't got a cybernetics core yet, and now just getting his gas. And this is a little bit funky. And let me just double check. Yeah, there is no cybernetics core out yet. So, Gateway's finished. Doesn't have the money to build a cybernetics core. Going to be rushing up with 2 zealots. And I can't wait to see exactly what Nony ends up doing with this. TLO does end up scouting it. With this 1 gas, he's going to start getting it now. But when the cybernetics core finishes, he's going to have a lot of gas. So this could be either a DT rush or maybe Stargate play. I don't know. Or maybe Nony just forgot the cybernetics core. That's a possibility, but I'm really scratching my head at this one. Gonna be getting even another gas, so I'm thinking like double Stargate all-in or DTs. I'm assuming this is gonna be some type of all-in coming out from Nony. We do have the probe gonna be working his way on this 1 hatch. The Zealot is going to be coming. And the hatch is going to be taken out. I just want to say big props to MLG because there was a post on Reddit a few days ago after this tournament all finished. But just because the supply depot is here doesn't mean this wasn't wallable at the time of playing this game. I think if you placed a pylon right here, here, and then here, you could still wall it off. But MLG fixed that within a few hours. We do have a Stargate being built by Nony. Does still have a... well, he doesn't have a lot of gas right now. That Stargate brought him down to 0 gas, so this cybernetics core was perfectly timed. This is a very well thought out build by Nony. And he does have 3 zealots, and that Stargate is placed far enough back where I think if the zealots do get a wall off, he can deny any type of scouting on that. But the Overlord right here is going to see that there's been a lot of gas mined, and just seeing these zealots with the lings is going to tell him that something is coming that is very gas intensive. Either Stargate play or DT play. The zealots not going to get back in time, so those lings going to get in, see the Stargate anyways. And this is not good at all for Nony. You can see TLO chose not to go up on that fast 3rd base because he knew there was no natural for Nony, so it was going to be a 1 base timing. And now he can see the gas, see how much is mined, but doesn't have to because he already knows what it is going to be. Nony's got to do damage here. We do have 2 spine coilers being built by TLO. Probe versus the Ling. The probe is no, the Ling's going to be backing off. A little bit odd there. We do have another Void Ray being built after this, so not going to be going up into the Phoenix. It is going to be Zealot Void Ray, but since TLO scouted that, I think he's going to be able to hold this off, but you never know. It can be a little bit funky. Nony could possibly, like, force field this ramp, come in with the Void Ray, kill these spines, and then the Zealots could do the rest. We do have Nony trying to take his natural right now. 43 supply, 252. And now 2 Void Rays are out on the field. Nony still has a lot of gas. Could we produce another Void Ray and then get a Sentry out once he has the minerals? This one, Overload, is going to fall for TLO. That will turn his supply upside down. No roaches for you, TLO. TLO, though, getting that roach one, not at lair just yet. Just trying to get as good a macro as possible. Has 5 queens out, and that is definitely a lot of queens. Going to get the roach one down here. What was this? Double roach one. So TLO, I don't think that's a mistake. I think he may be trying to get the roach speed and tunneling claws at the same exact time because he just knows Nony won't have any detection for some time, maybe? Definitely odd. I haven't seen the double roach one build since the double observatory back when Day 9 casted that, and man, was that just an epic high-level build. We'll see, though, if this one actually makes some sort of sense. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, back in Brood War, the Observatory only got 1 upgrade and didn't produce units, so getting double Observatory was just didn't make sense at all, and I hope it only had 1 upgrade. I really do. It had 2. Never mind. It had 2 upgrades. My bad. So, Laird is finishing. We do have, we'll see, does he get Tunneling Claws and this? Is he going to research Tunneling Claws? Doesn't have the money right now, or the gas. And we're finding out right now, does he end up getting it? It doesn't look like it. Void Rays are going to be scared away. And Tunneling Claws doesn't go down. He is instead going to be going for a Nidus with that Hydra. And this Nidus network is going to allow him to put on a lot of pressure. Just immediately. He does have a decent creep spread, but his Hydras, they are very slow, so they'd still have to travel a half of Metalopolis without having any speed boost. And by very slow, I just mean the speed of regular Marines without stim. That just kind of puts in perspective. Hydras aren't extremely slow, but compared to all the other Zerg units, they are extremely slow, unless you want to call non-stimmed Marines extremely slow. Which, I guess you could say they are. But a lot of Terran units are just at that same speed. A lot of Zerg units are just very fast. We do have the Nidus one being built way down here. So we will have Hydras and Roaches coming on out. With the Queens also. And this could be a little bit difficult for Nony to hold off. Nidus one does pop. Here we go. Roaches and Hydras on the way. Nony doesn't really have much of a ground on me. He's coming back here. He's like, oh my god, I forgot to go back and check behind my smoke. That's what Nony thinks is happening. He pulls all his units back into his main, but TLO just can be pushing in, and holy creep tumors. We do have 6 tumors out to spread that creep immediately down here. And you can see TLO going to be taking double expos right now. And the warp gate is going to be falling, and now Pylon does go down. Queens are also here to do transfuses and just help with the anti-air. And Nony, he's kind of stuck in an odd situation because he did pull all the way up into the main, so he couldn't really get in position that allowed TLO to take out that natural for almost free. And now TLO did his damage. He wants to back off. He doesn't really want to engage this army any more than he has to. Killing off that natural and then double expanding behind that, well, he may be making a mistake now. But he doesn't have to attack. Nony can't really do anything. He is forced to go all in, but actually TLO may have enough to kill him right up the bat. So not the best move by TLO, even though it may work. I don't agree with doing that just because he took out the natural, the main. Still mining, but Nony would have been mining off of 1 base while TLO would be getting 2 bases up. So you'd be a 4-base Zerg to a 2-base Protoss with all the goo spread right here. So Nony wouldn't be able to take this base anytime soon. Be forced to 2-base it for some time. But TLO just has enough. And 126 supply, 260 supply, denying this natural from ever being built. Overseer is going to be morphed. One Stalker does go down. The next one will be trying to get away. He doesn't have Blink. And this just doesn't look good for Nony. I hate saying game's over, but I don't see any scenario which Nony could possibly win this. Maybe if he teched up to DTs and TLO didn't build any detection for the next 3 minutes, that may be possible. We do have those roaches being force targeted down by Nony, trying the best micro he ever has pulled off to try to win this game, but I don't know. No amount of micro will make this work unless Protoss is incredibly imbalanced, which Idra may agree with, but Stefano says Protoss needs a nerf, so things like this just don't happen, even though this isn't what Stefano was talking about, because TLO didn't really do the build that Stefano was saying. Stefano believes there's one Zerg build to kill anything that Protoss does. All Zerg has to do is one build, and it just counters a vast majority of what Protoss does. There goes the GG, and we will be hopping into SC2 gears right now. So, going in, we'll go in game 1, look at TLO's injects. Let's see. Game charts. Unit tiers. Let's go to 30. Take TLO off. Nony having a small gaps right here and there. I'm not sure exactly what was going on, but at 30, you really shouldn't have any with warp gates. Maybe if you have just used all your warp gates, I guess it's acceptable to have this one gap. So maybe these are acceptable. I have to really go back and look into it to see exactly what's happening. 21 units right there. That is a lot. But I did notice that Nony did stack minerals throughout that game. So assuming he didn't have the best warp gate mechanics, you can see being used right here. Then the next time, yeah, there's no, was right here. So between 14 and 16, about 2 minutes, he does not have a warp in. Instead, he is getting, no, he does. High Templars are red, duh. So yeah, it's not that bad. I forgot High Templars were red, but the main thing is, let's look at TLO's injecting. Main building control, TLO, 10 minutes. 7.9, game number 2. Main building control. 11 seconds. So, not the best injecting by TLO, but maybe he was using tumors. TLO is one of those players who is very active with his tumors. It's so rare that you see a tumor that is not at the edge of the creep, because TLO, he really focuses on trying to get that creep spread out. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the game. Take care, and I will see you next